To tell us a bit more about this tough new world of British immigration, let's bring in our chief foreign editor, Robert Parsons. Rob, first of all, what do these changes entail?
Well, I mean, as you say, Jeannie, these apply to all people seeking to find work in the United Kingdom, whether they're from the European Union or anywhere else. The big change is that as of January the 1st, if you want to get a job in the United Kingdom, you have to demonstrate, according to a points system, largely inherited from Australia, where it's been in place for some time already. So, for instance, if you're trying to get a job as a skilled worker, you will have to demonstrate, first of all, that there is a job for you. Secondly, that you have a salary which is at least £25,600 a year, which is approximately 28,500 euros a year, that you can speak English up to a certain level, although it's not clear at this stage just what that level is and how you demonstrate it, and that you have recognized ID. This does not, however, apply to European Union citizens who are already in the United Kingdom and who have applied to the so-called EU settlement scheme to demonstrate that that is the case. As long as they can do that, they can stay on in the United Kingdom for as long as they like with their families and be entitled for the same benefits that UK citizens would have. For instance, if you become employed, you would be entitled to unemployment benefit. For them, nothing changes. But for those seeking to come to the United Kingdom for the first time, things do change. And if you're one of those and you lose your job, for instance, having got a job in the United Kingdom, once you've lost it, you have to leave.
Rob, a separate but related issue linked to immigration still. Britain has signed a new deal with France that's aimed at curbing the number of migrants crossing the Channel. What does that change?
Yeah. Well, this is a deal that's just been signed between the British Home Secretary, that's equivalent to the Interior Minister here in France, Priti Patel, and the French Interior Minister, Gérald Darmanin. This is a deal which just makes it tougher, really, for people trying to cross the Channel illegally, illegal migrants. The problem has been coming worse over the last couple of years. If you take 2019, for instance, there were 1,835 attempts to cross the Channel on small boats illegally. In 2020, so far this year, already 8,000 attempts. And it's dangerous. You know, this is the real reason, I suppose, why they decided they have to introduce tougher legislation. Since 1999, 300 people have died trying to make illegal crossings between the north of France and the south of England. So this legislation is intended to make it tougher for illegal migrants to get across, make it tougher for the people smugglers who facilitate their passage for considerable sums of money. What it involves is doubling the size of the French police force involved on a strip of territory about 150 kilometers long along the French coast, investing more money in surveillance techniques. There will be drones, more radar, more specialist binoculars for staff, that sort of thing. The reaction from many, though, has been quite negative to this, saying it doesn't advance things at all. It doesn't address the essential issue of people who are trying to cross the Channel. Why are they trying to cross the Channel? Not because they want to put their lives at risk, but because they've got very good reason for wanting, perhaps, for instance, to join relatives who are already in the United Kingdom. Amnesty International calls the measures profoundly disappointing. But France and Britain pressing ahead with these measures all the same.
Rob, thanks for that. France 24's chief foreign editor, Robert Parsons.